Okay, good morning class. We're on to our grade 8 experience in the Mammo Systematic Universe, and it's Mammo with Jarvis taking us on Algebra today, Algebraic expression. We had commenced the topic and we had looked at two crucial aspects of it. We've talked about that pertains to algebraic terms, and we talked a little about removal of brackets. Today, we're going to focus on something even more interesting. We're going to be looking at the matter of substitution. Substitution. What does it mean to substitute? It means to put one thing in place of another. Another word that could serve as substitution, it could be replace. Substitute this, replace, or get a replacement. So, what does substitution mean in algebra? That's the crux of the matter. In algebra, when we mention substitution, we are saying in place of the letter, put a number. In place of the letter, put what? A number. So I'm going to write that on the board. Substitution in algebra means in place of a letter, or technically called an unknown, put or replace with a number or a known. So be careful with the words I've used here. Known, same thing as number. Unknown, same thing as what? Letter. That's it. It's as simple as that. Substitution in algebra means in place of a letter or a known, put or replace. You can underline that. Put or replace with what? A number or a known. We said that algebra is a description of two basic ideas, known and unknown. The known we call numbers, the unknown we call what? Letters. So once you get this idea right, every problem we're going to solve here becomes very simple for us. And our textbook of reference for this will always be my favorite, Essential Maths for JS2 or for grade 8. Such an awesome book. You may want to have this one in your library. Okay, so for today, we'll be picking examples from page 136 of the textbook, and with special emphasis on exercise 11.3. So let's get down to business. Okay, we commence our work by trying to get values for these. Now, remember that 5 in this setup is a coefficient. And what does a coefficient do? A coefficient gives us an insight into how many times the unknown a is being what? Added. Or, simply put, 5 times a, giving us 5a, says that what? The number 5 is multiplying the unknown a. So, how do we solve this? What is a? A is what? 1. So this will mean 5 times what? 1. So 5a would mean, let's break that down. 5 times a, which will now be what? 5 times 1. And my final answer is what? 5. I have a basic rule I've learned in life from my work in mathematics. Every problem in maths ends in arithmetic. So if you start from geometry, it must end with what? Arithmetic. If you start with algebra, it will end with what? Arithmetic. I was saying here, 5 times 1. This is arithmetic, multiplication. 5 times 1 will give me what? 5. Alright, just wanted to draw your attention to that. For this will be what? 6 times b. 6b means 6 times b. That will be what? 6 times. What is b? B is what? 2. And my answer becomes what? 12. We go to the next one. It says 9c, meaning 9 times what? C. What is c? C is -3. That will be 9 times what? -3. And that in turn will give you what? Negative 27. Right? Okay, look at the board. 7a means 7 times a minus 2 times b. You must write this first. If you don't write 7 times a, you may be tempted to write what? 71. So this will now be what? 7 times 1 minus 2 times what? 2. Good. Do this one.
7 minus 4. 7 minus 4. 3.
Beautiful.
That's what I got.
You see that? So you take it gradually, you do it gradually. Alright. This will be x times y plus z, which will now be what? Negative 1 times 2 plus negative 5, which will now give us negative 2. Negative 1 times 2 give me negative 2. Plus times minus is minus 5. And in mathematics, if the signs are the same, you are adding. So this will be what? Negative 7. I'm owing 2 and I'm owing 5 would imply that I'm owing what? 7. Now the next idea will be this. This will be 4 times x minus y plus z, which will give us, we'll use the next line, 4 times minus 1 minus negative y is 2 plus negative 5. So I can rewrite this to be what? Negative 4 minus 2 minus 5. They're all negative, so I am what? Adding. They're all negative, I'm what? Adding. So that will give me what? 4 plus 2, that will give me 6 plus 5, and that will give me 11, negative 11. So we come to the next one. This one will be 5 times. Now, what I'm doing here, you may not necessarily do this when you're solving problem, but just to remind you that that is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking. In solving problems in an exam, you can just move from here to here, and everybody will understand what you're talking about. So this will be this times x times y times z cubed. So this will be 5 times negative 1. Usually in algebra, we case a negative just to tell you that it's negative, times y, which happens to be 2, times z. Z is what? Negative 5. So that will be negative 5 all cubed. Now what does that mean? Maybe I'll need to create some space for myself. I think this problem will take quite some space. So this will give me 5 times negative 1 times 2 times negative 5 all cubed means negative 5 is multiplied what? 3 times. So that will be negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5. So I can decide to take my work gradually. This is negative times negative, that's positive. Negative times negative is what? Positive. So I expect my answer to be what? Positive. Now, 5 times 2 is what? 10. 5 times 5 will give me what? 25. 25 times 5 will give me what? 125. I can test that here. And that will give me 125, meaning my answer will be 1,250 as my final answer. And that takes care of question C. Alright. Okay, by way of a last example for us to look at, we have x plus z squared over y, which will give us x is negative 1 plus z is what? Negative 5 divided by y, which is what? 2. And that will be equal to negative 1 plus negative 5 times negative 5. All over what? 2. Okay? and that will give us negative 1 plus. Negative times negative is what? Plus. And 5 times 5 is what? 25. Divided by what? 2. Alright. That's settled. That will give us, this we can rewrite to become what? 25 minus 1 all over 2. 25 minus 1 is what? 24 divided by 2, and that simply gives us an answer to be what? 12. And so by doing that, we discover that 24 divided by 2 gives us 12. So for this particular question, using these conditions or substitution, we're going to get that our answer becomes what? 12. Right? Okay, so we've just tried to introduce ourselves to substitutions, and it's such a very interesting aspect of algebra. We'll continue in our next class looking at more of what we call expansion. Until we meet again in our class, this is Mamu with Jarvis, grade 8, signing out. Thank you.